Welcome everyone to the first episode of the NerdFellas podcast. So I decided to do something a little bit different. Got a couple little friends with me. We're talking about the massive amounts of wrestling that went down this weekend. So everybody say hi to Jerome. Jerome, say hello to the world.
Hello, world.
He's waving right now. You can't see it, but he's doing it. And then we got the cruiserweight himself, Diego.
Hey, what's going on?
This man is 2 feet tall.
Hey, but I'm the...
And you can't teach that.
But I am the king of the King Cobras. So.
The Mascarita.
You're just like a walking King Cobra. Anyway. Alright, so we're just going to kind of...
Mascarita Cobra.
Alright, so we're just going to kind of go throughout the whole weekend. Summerslam Weekend had a bunch of wrestling, not just in WWE. We're mostly going to talk about that, but we're going to touch up on a little bit of everything. So let's just waste no time. So Ring of Honor. I didn't get to see it just because I was telling these guys hours in a day, and I hadn't gotten around to it. I don't keep up with Ring of Honor religiously, so they're going to be telling me about it mostly. So, alright, so Jay Briscoe, Adam Page.
Yeah, so Death Before Dishonor, Ring of Honor was held on this Friday before the Summerslam Weekend. Jay Briscoe versus Adam Page, I thought was a really good match. It was a grudge match.
Yeah.
It was a really good match. What I like about Adam Page is that he's part of the Bullet Club now, but he's the angry one of the Bullet Club.
He's the like loose cannon.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
The loose
hangman.
The hangman
of the Bullet Club.
Adam Page.
Okay, so how did these two end up going at it though? Like,
it started off. It was really weird the way it started off because it ended. Jay Briscoe runs in to the ring. Adam Page, right behind Adam Page, and they grab chairs.
Okay.
And they start like dueling with chairs, like chair
like
shots.
A lightsaber battle.
Yeah, pretty much a lightsaber battle with the chairs. And
the match, it was an amazing match, but now after the whole weekend, everything seems like a blur. I just remember him being choked out and Jay Briscoe's turning purple. Just purple at one point during the match with a noose around his neck. And I'm just thinking, dude, there is no way, it was, lack of oxygen was definitely an issue.
Working stiff for submissions, basically?
Yeah. Man, there was a lot of spots that it was crazy. It was a really well told story. Wasn't it Adam Page that turned on Jay Briscoe? I forget why they got into this match.
Like the feud leading up to it?
The feud. Okay. There's a specific reason. Now I can't even remember. I'm definitely drawing a blank on that one.
There was a spot in the match, though, where I just, marked out and I just said, holy S, you know?
We're PG-13 here.
Yeah, I can't say the full word here because I don't want to get kicked off or anything like that.
Deleted.
Delete. But there was a spot where Adam Page, where Adam Page and Jay Briscoe go through a table on the outside, and it looks really insane, and they both get cut up on the table.
It was like a please don't die kind of thing.
It was almost like the table was made of glass. There was cuts on their leg, and I'm like, so it was a legit table. It was
pretty
gnarly. Yeah,
that's cool. I gotta go back and watch this thing. All right, so Dalton Castle and Okada. I'm expecting greatness. Tell me about this. How majestic was Dalton Castle?
Well, he is majestic. He is a glorified peacock. I love it.
Yeah. The Dalton Castle alone, you just mentioned his name, and it's just like, wow.
Yeah.
Dalton Castle is probably my favorite wrestler right now because he goes with everything. He's embraced the whole peacock thing, and everywhere he goes, he's the peacock.
Yeah.
You know, you see him in person, he's going to be the peacock. But this match with Okada was really, really good.
Because Okada's easily top 5 in the world.
Yeah.
On anybody's list that watches everything.
Yep. It was a snug match. It wasn't a lot of high spots. It was a pretty tight match, pretty snug. Really, I mean, there were some chops. There was a little bit of everything. The boys, I mean, I'm telling you,
Yeah, let's talk about the boys.
And there was a spot. Okada knocks out Dalton, and then he throws the boys into the ring, and then the boys stay in the ring, and while Dalton's knocked out, it's like the boys seemingly they do the whole Dalton Castle thing.
Yeah.
And it was perfect. It was, you can tell that guys in Ring of Honor have a lot of heart. They work way harder than a lot of people give them credit for.
Yeah.
And so it just was seamless. It was almost as if it was organic, and it just felt like, dude, it was almost like the boys marked out because it was Okada. They had Okada bucks.
Like their own respect for it.
Yes, and it was awesome. I've only seen Dalton Castle maybe wrestle 5 times, and every single time it's just fantastic. It is just glorious.
Dude, I wish I could just record people's reactions when I tell them, like, all right, what did you think of Dalton Castle? They're like, dude. Like, dude.
But one thing about Dalton Castle is that he's utilized really well. But I think Ring of Honor is so stacked with many good wrestlers right now. They have Bobby Fish, they have Kyle O'Reilly, they have Adam Cole, they have Jay Lethal, So I think it's really hard for him to really
kind of move up in the card.
Yeah, because he's a favorite in Ring of Honor, but it's really hard to put a title on him.
Yep.
I think what he's got going for him is he's one of the only characters that they have. Like Ring of Honor is not really a character Big Show. It's the best wrestling on earth. So he's like one of the only things that's why he sticks out. So, but it's kind of hard to fit in. It's like a double-edged sword. Like you're kind of going against the grain a bit too.
Yep.
And it's working, but it's also holding him back at the same time.
It's a double-edged sword because it's very he embodies that character.
Oh yeah, he's on 100%.
It's like Ziggler. Ziggler is amazing at selling, and it feels like he jobs out to everybody, and because he's so great at selling, and it's the same thing for Dalton. It just feels that he is so great at what he does that they're just like, okay, we love having you here, so we don't even have to worry about it trying to find someone else.
Yeah,
and that's a shame because when guys really go out of their way, they get pigeonholed.
Yeah, and it's not only Ring of Honor too. Like NXT has it with Ty Dillinger. So good.
Don't even get me started on that one.
And then Tyler Breeze, even like the same thing. I feel like Miz is like the only flamboyant guy that gets like a push.
Yeah.
Anything like that. I mean,
doesn't do jack with that title.
No. He's really good at making me hate him though.
I know. He does his job. What can I say?
We'll get there. But okay, so world title, Jay Lethal and Adam Cole, baby. Oh, I made you write that.
Like literally wrote it down.
Yeah, underlined it too.
You put babies. You didn't put an exclamation mark, so you really can't.
Snickety snap.
It's there. All right, cool. You guys, you don't know what we're talking about right now. You didn't see that.
So Jay Lethal.
How long has he had the title for?
Jay Lethal. Oh man,
almost
about
a year. Almost a year. In October, it would have been a year.
Yeah.
He beat Jay Briscoe, I believe.
Yeah, he beat Jay Briscoe for a title.
Then wasn't AJ Styles one of the first defenses last December?
Was it? Honestly, I will look that up.
Yeah, I think AJ Styles is one of them.
That.
Yeah, look it up.
Yeah, I'm doing it. But you can talk about the
match. But he's had it for a while. We'll figure out.
Yeah, he's had it for probably about a year.
And look up about how exactly
approximately. I thought this match was amazing. Adam Cole. It's weird how Jay Lethal was a heel.
Yeah.
And it was basically heel versus heel coming into this.
Yeah.
And
but both of them get like the face reaction though.
Yeah, and just the way it all happened with Adam Cole shaving or cutting Jay Lethal's cornrows, his hair.
Oh, you don't do that.
That was great.
Yeah,
man.
that was and I was wondering like what did they come up with this, or like was Jay Lethal thinking like, hey, I'm gonna cut my hair, we should probably use this.
I got an idea.
Yeah, or was it an idea brought up, hey, we should cut your hair, and he just like said yes.
They deleted his hair.
Pretty much.
Everything's delete now.
Everything is delete.
The best thing going in wrestling. Right?
Oh God.
But anyway, the match was really good. It had a really lot of high spots in it. Jerome is still looking for this
Yeah,
information.
I feel like
I feel like
don't know.
one of them was AJ Styles in December, a little bit before he was at Wrestle Kingdom. Awkward silence for the rest of us.
If we had like a soundboard, we'd be like, brr, brr, brr.
I have the John Cena app.
Man, I'll tell you this. As many people, and I have to say, everyone says wrestling is fake. There is a great deal of people out there that say that. And
Dude, every time ESPN tweets something, I look at the comments. Just it's hilarious.
And I want to drop kick anyone and everyone that states that. And the biggest problem is these guys get one take to do everything.
Yeah.
And they act and they tell a story and they're physically dominating with everybody. And that's the craziest thing is that
it's fake to a certain point.
The way I always explain it
the wins
is it's stunt doubles doing their own stunts.
Yep.
Pretty much.
That's basically the way I say it. And they're the characters on the TV show. But that's a whole
427 days.
more than a year.
Dude, that's
More than a
Holy
year.
Man.
More than a year.
I could have. Wow, I thought it was June 19th, 2015 is when he won it.
Oh, okay.
Because it had been a year since him and Briscoe fought because they fought
Yeah.
back in June.
They fought a couple months ago. But anyway, back to the Jay Lethal versus Adam Cole, baby. Baby. It ended really good. I don't know if you want to add anything before I spoil it.
I will say this. Going into it, Lethal is the face. He's the good guy.
Yeah.
He's now a good guy who is pushed to his utter limit. He was doing things that was just Punisher-esque, just kind of, I have nothing else to lose.
Yeah, because you had to.
Yeah, and it was such a great storytelling.
Leading up to it, where they had like this signing thing, and he pretty much just demolishes Adam Cole, and he brings out the scissors trying to cut his hair, and then the Young Bucks come in and save him. That was a really good way to just send it off to Death Before Dishonor. Well, Adam Cole ended up winning the title. He is, I believe, the third person ever in ROH to win the ROH title twice.
This time with Bullet Club.
Yeah.
So he's taking it to Japan with him.
Yeah. So it'll be Adam Cole, and then it's Austin Aries, and then it's
Jay Briscoe.
Yeah,
because the Briscoes basically run that place.
Yeah.
This is the house that Briscoe's built.
One thing I'm waiting for to come back with Jay Lethal is Truce Martini. I'm waiting for Truce Martini to come back. He's been out for a long time. I'd say maybe about going on a year that Truce Martini's been out. I'm waiting for him to come back and team up with Jay Lethal again and become his manager.
Do it up. I think, you know what? I was listening to a podcast, and I think sooner rather than later, he's around the corner, if I'm not mistaken.
Man, I need to watch more Ring of Honor. Like, I kept saying, like, I need to finish Lucha Underground first, because, like, a TV show, like...
Lucha Underground
it was so good.
Another beast.
But, and I'm like, okay, I finally caught up, finally saw it all. It was so good. But it's coming back in, like, 3 weeks.
That's the third.
Yeah, so I'm like, the time I was going to spend with Ring of Honor, it's gone again. Oh, man.
I have nothing better to do except watch wrestling because I love it so much.
Yeah, is my life right now, just watching wrestling all the time, talking about wrestling.
See, and that's where I'm at too. But I watch a lot of other pointless stuff.
Yeah,
Stranger Things.
Yo, don't even get me started. That show was tight. Anyway, so
that, I guess that concludes our.
Oh, all right, Ring of Honor. So let's move on to NXT. So this is Takeover Dose in Brooklyn, the night before SummerSlam. So I don't know, the first few matches, they existed, but it really didn't pick up steam until about midway through the card.
Yeah.
Austin Aries versus No Way Jose. No Way Jose, he's so good for where he's at in developmental.
Yeah. I think he's a really good wrestler. The whole party thing that he's doing it's fun, but I like that.
Like, he turns it off.
Yeah, he knew when the party had to stop.
Yeah, like, that kind of separates him from Adam Rose. Like, it was all party all the time. Like,
he said it best. He knows when to turn the fiesta
into a
fight.
Yeah, and he's so good, like, on the microphone. Like, his eyes are literally bulging out of his eyes when he's doing that.
But
It was a good match.
I like that they
Yep.
paired him with Austin Aries because Austin Aries, of course, is a seasoned veteran.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he's been all around the world. It was a good match. It was a good match. In a way, I kind of hoped that No Way Jose would win just to kind of put him over.
Yeah.
Um,
I think Austin Aries might have needed
Yeah,
it more to move
I
up
know.
the card at this point.
yeah.
Because,
I really don't think Austin Aries needs a push.
no, I mean, I think he's borderline main roster ready. I mean, just space is really,
Yeah.
and like kind of fine tuning, going to WWE style.
Yeah, it would have been good that No Way Jose won to
Yeah.
kind of, put him over. Austin Aries is probably one of those wrestlers that can help put guys over.
Yeah.
I definitely like the way it ended with Hideo Itami coming out.
The GTS.
The only dude that rocked loafers.
Yeah,
at
I know,
a
right?
time.
Ended it with the GTS and
The first one on TV, too, because he did it with Tyler Breeze like 2 years ago, almost. Yeah, the
almost.
first big Mania event. But it wasn't even televised.
yeah.
So you just see like vines of it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
pretty
cool.
sure a lot of people saw it and said, "Hey man, that's CM Punk's move." Jerome.
Oh, God.
Because I didn't know. And then I did a research, and then I was just like, shut up, guys, for
So-
correcting me.
Whoa. That's funny because like CM Punk actually mentions Kenta. They mentioned in the DVD like
Kenta.
yeah, just because I was on a Reddit, I'm always on Squirt Circle just looking at all nonsense on there, and I was like, oh cool, he does credit him. But okay, Ember
Yeah.
Moon and not Billie Holiday, Jerome,
Yeah.
but Billy Kay.
Musician.
So Billy Kay, dude, that's stunner. I just want to skip straight to the end. That's stunner.
I saw a meme with Stone Cold. It shows Ember Moon doing the stunner, and then Stone Cold just like in disbelief, like WTF. I was like, it was a perfect. Personally, I'm not a big fan of moves where the one who's getting the move done, who they're doing the move to, kind of sits around.
Yeah,
I
like a leg drop and things like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like Del Rio's move. They have to hold on to the rope.
Yeah.
And hands come down. I'm not a fan of those.
Yeah.
It's like the RKO, the Diamond Cutter,
Like,
lethal injection. Like stuff where it's just like quick and just bam.
Yeah.
But it was still spectacular. I mean, I don't think Stone Cold could even done that in his prime.
No.
It was so good.
Yeah,
she did it better than Cena.
I really did not.
Oh.
Shots fired.
That was not
Yeah,
hard to
it's
do.
crazy how John Cena doesn't do that move anymore, though.
The springboard stunner?
Yeah.
Well, because he barely connected like maybe 2 times out of the
Yeah.
6 that he did it.
But to be
Oh.
honest, I really didn't pay attention to this match. I was grabbing a soda.
I will say this. Billie Kay
Yeah.
looked strong. I love, even though she lost and we knew Ember Moon was going to win,
Yeah.
Billie Kay looked strong. I got to see her wrestle at Access this year, and I'm going to say I'm really impressed with the girls that are coming behind. Shout out to Mandy Rose and the other girl from Tough Enough.
Daria,
I'm sorry. I know she's from Jersey, and she looked tough as nails.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to the next batch of women in NXT.
I think there might be too big of a gap because, like, I mean, say like had you left Carmella, and then like you would have had the next ones to be as big as Sasha, as big as Bayley before they came up. You would have more of a buzz behind them by the time they come up.
I agree, but I don't even think that.
I mean, they're going to be fine.
With Alexa Bliss and Carmella, I don't even think they had the star power that the 4 horsewomen had.
No, they didn't.
And there's no way. But I will say these next girls,
They're gonna
they
be
look.
huge.
I just don't like Liv Morgan.
I think it's weird. I think she
She
might be
reminds me of Carmella ripoff.
Yeah.
a little bit. Yeah. Okay.
Pretty
Yeah.
much what it
That's
is.
why I don't like it.
Yeah.
Her in ring work is fantastic though.
Yeah, she is
I
kinda,
I do like her.
So okay. So Billie Kay, she did a lot better than I expected. What'd you do?
Nothing.
All right, Jerome didn't do anything, guys.
Yeah.
I'm overreacting.
I just bit myself.
All right. So
All right.
Bobby Roode,
Glorious.
dude.
Glorious.
I want that as my like ringtone for when I wake up in the morning. Like that needs to be my alarm.
I'm pretty sure if you do have it as an alarm to wake you up in the morning, you're gonna wake up glorious,
Dude, like I wanted first I wanted Bailey's song to wake up always in a good mood. No, I want this to make everyday glorious.
Yeah. It was an entrance. It was a staged entrance. It was pretty cool.
Dude.
Um,
Man.
Bobby Roode versus Cien Almas.
For the record, I wanted Cien Almas to win. La Sombra. Yeah.
I know, right? See, I wanted him also, but I mean, he's gonna be in developmental for a while, just to
Stupid.
Yeah.
just to convert over, like learn, fine tune his craft. Like I guess
Yeah.
learn English too.
But-
Wait. Are you saying that Cien Almas needs they all need to fine tune their craft? But
Oh, yeah.
Cien
I mean,
Almas
that.
is amazing.
Yeah, he is
really good.
Yeah, he is. But would his chemistry last with everyone in the WWE though? Where he's at right now?
No, he can
That's what I mean.
outperform a lot of the guys up there, but I honestly think they're holding him back because it's English.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
in a negative. I mean,
Shinsuke's in NXT because of
Absolutely.
English. I mean, and he knows
I know.
pretty decent English.
I think Cien Almas too. I'm not
Think of it.
I'm not a TNA original, so like Aries and Rude and Joe.
Yeah.
I followed him. I liked him. I appreciate everything they do, but La Sombra, I was just like, he has to beat Rude. Although I knew Rude was gonna win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was his first match in NXT, so it was pretty much a given. They were not gonna have him lose.
Yep.
Especially with like the entrance that he made, just like
I mean,
Putting down
15,000
all of
people in
NXT.
Brooklyn paid to see Bobby Roode, apparently.
Yeah, I just thought it was kind of weird though how it was just like, hey, I'm here, I'm gonna wrestle you, Cien Almas, and then that.
for what reason? Kind of.
Yeah,
thing.
it was just like we're wrestling.
I mean,
Well,
I'd rather that than Ty Dillinger. I want Ty Dillinger to make it.
Look, because I like La Sombra, and then they had Ty Dillinger versus each other, I was like, man,
Yeah.
I was so bummed.
Yeah, it's like,
And
who do I
Ty
even
had
go for?
yeah, I know. I wasn't disappointed in the match.
I
but-
believe Ty Dillinger did wrestle this time, but it was a dark match.
It might have been because I think they recorded next week's episode there too.
Oh, okay.
So I think it might have been that.
Cool.
So
Ty Dillinger, if you don't know who he is, he's the perfect 10.
He's a
You're
10.
missing. Remember at WrestleMania when Brock Lesnar hit the 10 suplexes?
yeah, everybody Ted.
Biggest pop of the day. It was great. It was.
Yeah, he's so good. He needs more.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Anyway,
Another Canadian?
Bobby Roode.
Bobby Roode takes the win.
Takes
It
the
was-
win
It was
over
pretty
Cien
glorious. So
All right, so let's get to
let's get to the card. this is where stuff.
This
gets
is
good.
where everything really stared to.
Oh man.
This is where everything really popped
So
off.
Gargano and Ciampa versus the Revival. Gargano and Ciampa, new name, DIY. Holy crap,
I'm all about that.
dude! Yeah, it was
Yeah,
so cool.
DIY.
I don't. To me, I was just thinking like we're in an era where like these guys they were like pretty much like part-time workers for WWE, still wrestling indies. Now they're coming. It seems like they're coming over full-time. It's pretty much all but confirmed.
I think Gargano is.
Yeah.
He's been doing his farewells. In
Yeah,
his
I remember
indies.
seeing Candice LeRae, who if y'all don't know,
I've
that's
seen
his
that.
fiance, saying like this is our last chance to see us together. Come out, and that basically all but confirms it.
I've
Yeah.
seen that Tommaso Ciampa has also been saying that he's no longer going to be booking any more independents after a certain date.
So,
So
it seems like they're like
Maybe
full-time.
now they're going to become like a full-time.
Probably- maybe not even NXT. They might go straight to cruiserweight division.
I think they'd have him bounce between both.
Yeah,
Maybe, yeah.
I think they'd have him do
But
that.
it just trips me out that these are guys that, as of right now, aren't really full-time WWE guys, and here they are on a huge takeover event.
Yeah.
like,
Going from, not even on it, because I mean, what's his face? Thunder Liger, obviously, Jushin, like he did it, but that wasn't for a title. This is for a title. Like that's huge faith,
Yeah.
and like, huge change in the business in general.
everyone in the CWC is pretty much killing it right now.
Yeah, except for Ho Ho Loon.
Yeah,
I think we can all agree on
We
this.
all agree on that one. That guy is
man.
the worst.
Oh, the Bollywood brothers, I think they could have.
The Bollywood boys,
they're okay.
Bollywood boys, they'd be a pretty good tag team on NXT.
Yeah, I
And-
mean you can polish them. I don't think they were really ready for Cruiserweight Classic yet, but you can polish
yeah,
them.
they're a tag team that could go in there.
I've seen some tag matches where they're fantastic.
Are they?
I was
Okay.
like, okay. And then I saw him and I was like, this isn't what I saw.
Yeah, but
I felt lied to.
Yeah,
Oh, man, but, like,
like so many wrestlers there,
this match is basically a Cruiserweight match, tag
Yep.
match.
pretty much.
Well, yes and no. I mean, because the revivals are all fists and no flips.
Yeah, that's
so,
Yeah, but what I like about the Revival is that what a lot of tag teams don't have, but what I'm seeing a lot with like American Alpha, DIY, the Revival, Enzo and Cass, they're all they do these double team moves.
Yeah,
Yep.
The double team moves, which a lot of wrestlers that came before them that were tag teams that were just paired together really didn't have that. So it really wasn't a team. Authors of Pain are coming out. It's pretty much
Gorillas of Destiny.
Gorillas of Destiny. Pretty much Gorillas of Destiny. And they're destroying guys with these double team moves. And that's what makes a Revival really good, is that
Yeah.
they have really good double team moves.
I think the only thing that they're missing is really like a reason for being there. Because I mean, they say like no flips, just fists. They're getting better at it, but before it's like, okay, they're like really good in ring technicians. Who are they? I still could get confused. Which one's Dash? Which one's Dawson?
Oh yeah.
And then it's more like they need a little bit more of an identity. And
Independently or as a team?
both.
Okay.
Both. But like, because I mean, you watch them in the ring, it's like they're so cool, but it's like, all right, describe them to me. Literally, like it says, no flips, just fists. Like, there's not really much more than that.
Man, you can explain it to real wrestling fans and just
Yeah.
be like, Ole and Arn Anderson. They're just, or even newer wrestling fans, APA. They're just straight like rough and tough, and they're tougher than a $2 steak. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but even that, like, you can still describe like, okay, like JBL, like, you know, he had the cowboy hat, like something to distinguish, something like that. Like it's
I could see that.
because I mean, you can get him over in the wrestling world, but to get over like just in general, that like mainstream, that's a little bit harder. And I know it's NXT is developmental, but moving on forward, that could be something that kind of holds him back.
I will say this. I know Bailey had said it, Balor had said it, pretty much the whole NXT roster has said it. It's not a developmental. And if you saw Takeover, and this is not a shot, this is like, it's to give these guys credit.
Yeah.
Because they, in all honesty, what Paul Levesque and has put together in NXT, whether he was the only one booking or someone else helped him book, whatever the case is, they produced with 6 matches a stellar card.
Yeah.
Each match told a story, had a rhyme and a reason, maybe minus the Rude and Cien Almas, but I understood the
I think
booking
that
of
might have just been chemistry.
Yeah, and
well,
the
that's
remainder of it, I mean, Brooklyn was better than SummerSlam.
Oh yeah.
Gotta say it.
Oh yeah. We'll get there.
But we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get there. We have thoughts about SummerSlam.
Sick desktop.
But the way it ended was DIY losing to the Revival.
So they retained, which I'm not even mad about.
No,
The
because
Revival
I
retained,
mean, I feel like
yeah.
I should be because they're the heels, but I ain't even mad.
it was probably to me the best match on the entire card.
Pretty much probably the best match for the weekend.
Probably.
I'd say I'm glad that the Revival won. And here's the thing, because if they lost, were they going to get called up again?
Yeah, and
I
then
mean,
yeah,
as it is, they don't have a lot of tag teams in NXT right now anyway.
yeah.
I think I want Authors of Pain to take it. I really want them to lay the pain.
I'm pretty sure they'll get thrown into the mix now.
Yeah, they kind of got lost for like the past couple weeks, but I mean they're new. That's fine. They got
Yeah.
time.
Yep. Oh yeah.
They got plenty of
You
time.
got a 1 hour show. I mean, you need a.
Yeah, they'll fit it. But oh man, Asuka Bailey. Let's talk.
Asuka.
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 I like how you spell it. Asuka.
Asuka.
The way you spell it on the
I'm
paper.
terrible at spelling. I'm just letting you
Yeah.
know.
Oh,
And
God.
it's
So-
spelled K as holiday.
Asuka versus
So
Bailey.
Asuka Bailey, dude, Bailey makes me so happy. I can't get over this girl. Like, she embodies all my happiness.
Bailey is the girl next door. She is the one you want to see when she is the one I can imagine was told that you can't be a star, and she's just like, she's stone cold up. She gave him 2 middle fingers.
I
And
can't
said,
picture her giving middle fingers. She's
Exactly.
so nice.
Yeah, it's like she baked him a pie or something.
She gave him a hug.
She just hugged him.
and just broke his back. It looked. I mean, they set it up to where it looked like Bailey was gonna win.
Yeah, and
I
it's
mean-
kind of and it's one of those things where like I mean, when we follow this thing like too far into it, we kind of knew like okay, she's on her way up, but you could still like you get suspended in it when you're watching it. And it's like well, maybe they'll actually give making the 2-time.
Yeah.
See, and I honestly didn't think she was getting called up. I thought Royal Rumble time.
They sold it. They sold it on that saying that she's gonna become the first 2-time NXT champion.
Yeah.
So I was kind of convinced, like, damn, she is gonna become
I think
the.
she's actually gonna do it. And then you're watching it, and you're just thinking like, dude, these two are going at it.
and she had everyone there. Sasha, Becky, Charlotte. were
Charlie
in
was
attendance.
off to the side.
Perfect heel move.
Yeah, off
What
to
a
the
heel.
side.
And it was just it was awesome story. Like I just
These two girls.
yeah
Yeah, and
Asuka.
Asuka's.
Yeah, was it the Queen of Thick style?
But what I'm thinking now is who comes up after Bailey? Like, who's next for Asuka?
That's what I mean. Like, if you would have like kept like Carmella and Alexa Bliss there, they'd be like perfect for that spot. Like, there's a big gap.
Yeah,
between
they called up a
Nia
lot
Jax
of them.
too.
Like Nia Jax. I mean, of course, she already had her feud and already beat
Yeah.
Nia Jax. But I mean, reignited or something. But they called a lot of them up way too early.
And it's basically it's for the draft. I can get why, but it kind of like it leaves that skill gap, or not skill, but experience gap between the women's roster. With Asuka
I'll give you
and
the
others.
experience gap.
I think it's that.
Or maybe something to kind of sell to the crowd. I really don't. I mean, are they going to give her Ember Moon? She
The
just
push to the
wrestled.
moon. I think they might. I mean,
She looks.
she looks like she has
good
that style
in-ring
that can
work.
go.
Yeah.
I will say this though, man, I know that we really hadn't seen him prior to this. I mean, at least I don't recall. But Mandy Rose and the girl from Jersey, tough as I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it's going to be good.
I mean, they've been around for about a year. It's about a year.
Tough
since
Enough.
Tough
I know
Enough.
they're from Tough Enough.
Yeah.
But I'm stoked.
I mean, they're picking it up quick. If they're already on TV after only a year, they're picking it up quick. Faster than, was it Sarah Lee? The girl that won?
Oh, I was thinking the baking lady.
Yeah, that's what everyone thinks of. That's what I thought of when I first saw her. But, like, I mean, she won the thing, and she hasn't even popped up on TV yet. But you have Patrick Clark has already been on TV.
Whatever happened to that one guy from that one Tough Enough, Silent Rage? Whatever happened to that dude?
I don't watch Tough Enough that much.
No, well, I mean, this was a Tough Enough that happened, like, I want to say
Like the
4 years ago.
The Stone Cold one?
The Stone Cold one.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
That was the year with, what's her face? Cameron.
Yeah.
Yeah, where her favorite match was, like, Alicia Fox.
Alicia
and someone was
Fox and
on
Stone Cold was like,
It's like, that's your favorite match?
that's your favorite match? Like, get out of here. But she became one of the...
It was like a SmackDown match.
No, I'm continue.
Yeah. She's not there no more. We don't speak
Yeah,
about her.
we
Go
don't-
by.
We don't care about her. But...
Bye, Felicia.
Oh, man.
All right, but Asuka ended up winning.
She retained. Bailey, she got her moment to say bye. It was... It got me.
I didn't think it was a call up. I swear.
Even with that...
Even with that, I didn't.
That's what made me know, but I was like, oh, man, she's coming up. Mostly because Sami Zayn got his moment after Nakamura.
Yeah.
That's what I saw it as.
See, and it's funny. I knew Sami Zayn was getting called up, but
the thing about
Well, he was
Sami
already there,
Zayn
too.
was already making appearances.
Yeah.
and I honestly didn't see this as a call up. And when she gets, well, we know she gets called up. Bailey comes out on Raw. I'm just like, what the heck is going? Like, it was
I think,
cool.
Yeah, and I think part of it, why I kind of saw the call up coming, was because, well, obviously she was on, what pay per view was it? With
Oh, the
Battleground.
It was a Battleground? Okay, yeah. She was Sasha's tag partner. And I saw online, just, reading dirt sheets, things like that, that was like a test run to see if they need to fine-tune the Bailey character, like see if they need to change it up or anything. And obviously they don't.
Which
It's perfect.
they shouldn't. They shouldn't mess with any of the wrestlers that are getting called up from NXT.
Yeah, because they were there for that long for a
because
reason.
they're already good. They're getting called up
Yeah,
for.
they were doing that for a reason, yeah. And so I saw like that, and then Evan saw it was perfect. She went back on NXT and came back exactly the same. That's why I kind of saw it coming, just because I read that. So I was kind of maybe lending too much credibility to the dirt sheets, but I guess it worked for me this time.
And I thought it was great that she got bypassed on the draft. So it left us like, dude, what the heck? Because you couldn't have done that with Alexa. You couldn't have done that
No,
with
they had to get
Carmella.
drafted.
And so it just made perfect sense.
They had to
there.
get drafted and introduced. Bailey, so many people already know who she is.
Great story. I loved it. I appreciated the storytelling.
Oh, yeah.
Seemed
So,
like one of those guys now.
and then we're at the top of the card. Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe and Shinsuke Nakamura. Dude, Nakamura's entrance.
Dude, I Nakamura's entrance always gives me chills.
I know. Like, as soon as the lights go off.
Yeah.
Not before the even entrance.
Did you get a chance to see him in Dallas at Access?
Yeah, definitely saw him at Access.
That gives you chills.
Dude, I was waiting in line to see. Well, I was waiting in the Kane line, but they had told me that I wasn't gonna be able to see Kane, so I had to wait for the next wrestler.
Which you don't know even who it is at that
Yeah,
point.
they don't tell you who it's gonna be for the fact that they don't want bigger lines for certain wrestlers, and then the smaller wrestlers don't get any lines.
Yeah.
But I was in line for Kane at the moment, and you just hear. I don't know what Jerome's doing right now.
I'm channeling my inner violinist.
So all right. So anyway, back to
Suspectus
the important things here.
Diego has a tangent.
Squirrel.
The music comes on and everyone just cheered like.
You're like, what is this?
Yeah, everyone in the line started cheering because it's the first time you're besides the takeover in Dallas. If you weren't there, this was basically going to be the first time you saw him wrestle.
Because they were taping Takeover.
Yeah, because they were doing
Access, right?
tapings at Access.
NXT, not Takeover, but yeah.
They did at least 4 tapings there while I was there.
Yep.
So I constantly had to hear the song over and over again, which I didn't mind. But anyway, yeah, that's the first time I actually saw him wrestle. I don't remember who he wrestled though. I really don't care.
I don't remember.
I don't either.
It's
But-
Nakamura. He's amazing in
Yeah.
every way.
But I was waiting in line to see Kane, and Kane left, and Cesaro came out. So I took a sick pic with Cesaro, which is still pretty cool.
But oh man, so
Samoa
Joe and
Samoa Joe
Joe.
and Shinsuke Nakamura. It was a good match. I thought it was a good match. It was a little slow.
It started off slow.
It started off slow to me. It didn't get good until maybe about mid-end of the match.
It picked up quick. That thing picked up steam quick.
It did. It was like a snowball going down a
Yeah.
hill, but then it hit a plateau for a bit, and then it just went full
Yeah.
throttle. And I think it was important. You had the King of Strong Style and the Emperor of Strong Style.
Yeah,
Samoa Joe.
Samoa.
Oh, I'm sorry. Samoa. Is that what we're going with?
Now we are.
Samoa.
Well, I guess now we are, because it's the proper term.
The more you
but
know.
It's knowing it's half the battle. It's just it was. I thought it was a good match. I love the build, and then to the ending.
And then Samoa Jaw. Like
Samoa Jaw.
yeah, do you see he was like as soon as he starts pointing at his jaw and the ref was like freaking out, but he's got to take another knee, and he didn't put his hands on it. He just took that knee.
Yeah.
And I think it was dislocated. I think is what it said. I thought it was broken because he couldn't close it. It was dislocated. I think is what they said.
From what I read and from what I heard earlier today when me and Jerome were listening to the Taz show,
Shout out.
I don't think it's really dislocated. I think it's all part of storyline.
You think so?
Yeah.
Maybe because I saw. I'm only saying this because I saw the ref throw up the X.
Yeah.
Like I saw that, so that makes me think like, okay, yeah, like this actually happened. What up, cat?
That's Jinx.
Jinx.
Yeah, so the match started off really slow, and they picked up really quickly at the end, and everything was just like in your face as to everything was going on.
Strong Style at its finest.
Oh yeah, and then Nakamura just got the push to the moon.
Yeah.
He got it quick, which I mean is good, but
I lost my mind.
yeah.
I told everyone Shinsuke is going to win, and no one believed me. And I mean, I threw a pillow down. My friends were looking at me like I was bananas. I was marking hard.
I want to say that Shinsuke is probably besides like the lower, like one of the really main titles to Japanese guy. You know, but I know Tajiri had a title. I think it was a tag title.
Mm-hmm.
And Taka Michinoku was a lightweight champion, but at the time that really was.
It wasn't as big of a deal.
It really wasn't as big of a deal.
Trying to compete with WCW. Failed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think this is the first.
He's got the main title for his
Yeah.
brand.
Yeah, it's the first time that's ever happened in.
He's literally on top of the NXT world.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see where it goes from here. We'll see if they kind of continue the feud with Samoa Joe.
I think they will. I mean, he's got to get at least his rematch before getting called up.
Yeah.
I mean-
I'd like to see Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar, but I think that's just. I don't want them to smash on Samoa Joe
Yeah.
and make him look like crap against
With Lesnar?
Brock Lesnar
Yeah.
I don't want to see Lesnar wrestle ever.
ever again.
We're
done.
like
I'm
over
over
that
it.
now.
Well, I mean, we're gonna get to that point.
Yeah,
but
we'll
that's-
get there.
It was a good match. Shinsuke won. He is NXT champion.
And we'll see what's to come.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So now we're getting to the meat and bones of this. Slam.
Super Slam.
There was no tables, ladders, and chainsaw match, unfortunately. But we got some stuff to talk about. So, I mean, the pre-show didn't really matter. I mean, sometimes it's cool, but the only thing that was really relevant to me was Sheamus beat Cesaro for the first match of 7, which we're going to see more of.
I felt that they should have been on the card.
I think they should have, but
compared to some of the matches on there,
yeah,
bull. They should have been on that card.
The thing that bugs me about this is that they've already had 2-3 matches, and now it's a first of 7.
Yeah, now it's the first of 7. So I don't understand that.
And you can't really carry it through Raw and SmackDown because they're brand split. Obviously, it's gonna be a while. It's gonna keep going for at least 2, 3, 4 months.
We'll see you with Survivor Series.
Let's see how.
Team Sheamus versus Team Cesaro.
I remember Chris Benoit and Booker T back in the day.
Who?
Chris Benoit.
Who's that?
He's that guy.
Who's that? I don't know what you're talking about.
Over here.
Yeah, they had a best of
Keeping
7
the business
match.
alive.
They had him and Booker T had a best of 7 deal going on at WCW, which those matches were really good. So I'm curious to see how these turn out.
They're gonna be good matches. These guys got Sheamus is one of the best ones they got.
But didn't they have a title behind them?
I don't know.
I think it's the one who wins this, so get a shot. I want to say U.S. title, or I don't know.
Well, didn't this originally start off for first winner gets a title opportunity? They never say when, but that was what it was, and then it became a best of 7.
Yeah. So I'm not too sure.
So it's kind of like a weird little thing. I mean, I'm going with the Riot just because I have no choice.
I actually missed this match because I didn't know that SummerSlam started at 5.
Yeah, dude.
Well,
this wasn't even on SummerSlam. This was on the pre-show before.
I mean, I didn't know it started at 5, so I wasn't even watching the pre-show.
Yeah. So by the time you turned it on,
I turned it on around 5:30, so I had missed the tag match, which is Jericho.
Yeah.
And Enzo and Cass. So I have nothing to say about that match because I didn't see it.
It was a good tag match. I mean, I wish Enzo and Cass won just because I love them. Plus, they're the established tag team. Jericho was kind of a new thing. I don't think it's gonna last too long.
I don't think so either.
I don't see why they should have gotten the win if Enzo and Cass is the one that's gonna be around for a while longer.
Well,
so it seems
because Cass is the hometown boy, not Enzo, because he's from Jersey. Let's get the facts out there.
Jersey.
But WWE always squashes you in your hometown.
That's true.
So never wrestle in your hometown if you're WWE.
That's true, except for CM Punk at Money in the Bank.
One
year.
That was lightning in a bottle.
Yeah,
you can't.
2011 Money in the Bank, John Cena versus CM Punk.
One of the only Meltzer 5 stars that WWE has too.
Go check it out. Do yourself a favor.
And I was actually telling about that on this past Sunday for SummerSlam. Is that's the only time that I'm pretty sure it was at Money in the Bank where you know how John Cena throws his shirt out to the crowd and the crowd kept tossing it back in.
Oh yeah,
it happened when he was at ECW too.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, in 2006. Versus Rob Van Dam.
Yeah. Oh, that match. Have you seen that or no?
I was watching it last night.
That's amazing.
The thing is that WWE ECW, I really just.
Oh no, this was in the ECW arena,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was the ECW crowd.
Okay.
And it was the ECW crowd.
Oh yeah.
But that's kind of
with WWE wrestlers.
Yeah, basically. Well, RVD, but
yeah, I don't care.
But all right, so
King versus Taz.
So Jericho won. So Charlotte, Sasha for Botchfest title.
Well, okay.
All right.
It was painful to watch.
It was a good match.
Yeah, it was.
It was really good. I just feel that some things. They just weren't on point with each other. They just weren't communicating really well.
Yeah, I was afraid for Sasha's neck, her lower back. Oh man,
that one move that she did off the turnbuckle.
The diving knees.
No, where it was in the ring. She does like a flip, and then Charlotte flips too.
It was
Charlotte was gonna do what looked like the outsider's edge.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
right.
She turns it into Hurricane Rana, and then she. In the nick of time, tucks her head.
Barely tucks her head.
Yeah,
by the tear of her chinny chin.
Freaked me out.
Barely. She just skimmed the ring.
Yep.
But
oh man,
that was pretty intense.
And then there was that one. I don't know what Charlotte was doing where Sasha bounced off of the rope and pretty much bent her lower back.
Oh yeah, she fell.
It was a little bit before that. Oh man,
it felt like they weren't gelling, in that moment, but it was still a stellar match.
Yeah, it was. And they have chemistry. They've done matches like this before. They've been good. but something was just off, and
Yeah.
and apparently like Sasha is out for a while because of it.
I think I don't know.
Right.
I try not to read the dirt sheets too much, but I
Yeah.
was listening to Tasha earlier.
Yeah.
And they talked about she had some pre-existing nagging injuries.
Yeah.
And she just recently got married, so I think that might be to her honeymoon. Congrats, Sasha, by the way.
Yeah, shout out to Sasha.
Maybe
Out
she
of nowhere too.
listens to
No one knew. Well, what up, Cat?
But
This
it's
cat
weird
keeps
that
coming.
I don't know. This is like besides the point, but like the guy she married is the guy that runs up, down, down.
Is it really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah.
And she's on there a lot too.
Woods?
No, not Xavier Woods. It's the guy that runs up, down, down. Like when,
Like he does like the live streams.
yeah,
and all
he
that
does
stuff.
like the.
I've never seen it. I'm not a big gamer, so.
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
it's
sorry.
hilarious.
It's really funny. You should check it out. Up, down, down.
Shout out to Xavier Woods, Austin Creed, Team Valor.
Hailing
Anyway,
from Angel Grove. It's morphin' time.
oh
But,
god.
that match I thought was good. It was just, yeah, they messed up quite a few times.
It was scary, but surprise. I honestly,
I thought Sasha was gonna keep it.
I didn't see that coming. I
Yeah.
was swerved hard.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I didn't see that coming at all. I guess I was surprised, but
It was funny when I was watching. I had a couple friends over, and
couple friends.
couple
Couple
homies, and
And pizza.
yeah, there was some pizza. But my mom, my aunt, and my cousin were there. Yeah, and they were like, "Oh, are you guys still watching wrestling?" And then they start watching this match. Obviously, again, missing the women's match, and they're just like get sucked in. They're like, "Why does everyone hate the blonde one?" I was like, "Everyone hated her dad." And my mom remembers Ric Flair. She's like, "Oh, I hated him."
That dirty, sneaking.
And
I mean-
she's a really good heel herself.
Oh.
Oh yeah,
my
she's way
gosh.
better. I did not like face Charlotte.
I agree.
I mean, I don't like heels Charlotte either, but that's cool. I mean,
But that's the whole
yeah,
point.
that's the point. Yeah, if as heels they can get under my skin, they're doing good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much
Like-
the point. If you're saying to yourself, "I hate that guy" or "I hate that girl," is because they're doing their job. just
Yeah.
fine.
So we'll segue into the Intercontinental match with someone that we hate. Oh god,
I can appreciate
Okay.
The Miz and everything he does. His character is one that if I met this person in real life, not The Miz, someone who was the embodiment of that character, I would drop kick him into next year.
dude.
And then I'd
It's
wait for him
like
and
mo-
drop kick him again.
Yeah, it's like if I already see the Miz, it's like Mortal Kombat. Like I'd kick them into the next side of the arena.
But you know what the Miz should do? I mean, we're talking about the Miz versus Apollo Crews, which I'm not convinced on Apollo Crews either.
He doesn't have a character.
Apollo
who is
Creed?
he?
Apollo
Creed. It's who is he? Like he's
Yeah,
smiley.
He's a really good wrestler, but he
Smiley
has
guy.
no personality to
He's
him.
Rocky Maivia.
Yeah,
That's basically what it
he's
is.
That's a
Rocky
good
Maivia.
analogy.
Anyway, the Miz, his whole thing is good. He's a really good heel. His wrestling is good.
He's a safe worker.
Yeah.
He knows not always catch everyone, but
I
he's
wish,
a safe worker.
I wish the Miz outside of wrestling would be the Miz. You know, the heel Miz that he is.
Yeah.
Thinking he's better than everyone.
Yeah.
You know, because I've seen like videos, I've seen that he things that he comes at it, and he's normal.
Yeah, I mean, he's naturally cocky, but like it's nowhere near.
WWE has the terrible way of, hey, you're not a heel, you're not a bad guy, because we're going to paint you as an anti-bullying campaign, aka Sheamus.
Yeah.
And then we want you to be the super bad guy. And you can't do it's like
You pick your guys.
you know what I mean? Like if they're a face, use them for that. Don't ruin a heel because you want to publicity stunts.
Yeah, I think the only exception would be like Make-A-Wish, I guess, because I mean,
that I'll give.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna dog on Make-A-Wish.
yeah, because I mean Bray Wyatt's done a couple Make-A-Wish, which
Really?
Yeah, there's
Did you bring the rocking chair?
I don't know, that'd be cool. Though.
that'd be cool though. If you
Imagine
Tell
I
a
want to
story.
sit on the rocking chair.
Tell a story.
But there's very few wrestlers now that do that, and a lot of them in WWE don't do that. I have a story for WrestleMania weekend.
This is a new segment called Diego Has a Story for WrestleMania Weekend.
Yeah, for WrestleMania weekend, me and my brother hit up WrestleCon, and we ran into Frankie Kazarian and Christopher Daniels in the parking lot.
Oh, dude.
All right.
In the parking lot, and they rolled up like standing literally right next to us as we were gonna cross the street, and I turn and I look at him and I'm just like, yo dude, look who it is. And my brother, like, really, like, straight face goes up to him and tells him, "You guys are really good." And they're like, "Thank you." And
I love Daniels, by the way.
And my brother tells him, "I'm going to see you guys tonight." Because ROH was that same night.
Yeah.
And they said, "We'll be there." That's all they said. And me, I was just thinking to myself, like, damn, what a dickhead. But it's not until later that my brother, like, really explained to me, like, and I didn't realize it at the moment. And I saw Christopher Daniels walking around WrestleCon with the suit, thinking he was, like, some badass. Like, he'd go up to the wrestlers and he'd shake their hands, but just really straightforward.
Yeah.
Like, "Hey, I'm here."
Doctor.
Yes. And I didn't realize it until, like, a week later. That's his thing.
Yeah.
He's a heel, and that's who he is inside the ring. That's who he's going to be outside the ring.
He's keeping the business alive.
He's
Kayfabe.
Yeah, he's still going to be that heel. I mean, he'll be respectful and shake your hand. He's not going to call you, like, an idiot.
a stupid idiot.
But he kept it professional to a certain point.
Yeah.
And he sold it on me because I thought he was a dickhead, like, out in person. But
Oh, dude, he
you know,
worked you so hard.
He really worked me.
Diego's a smart wrestling fan.
He really worked me, and I was just like, damn, he worked me. Now
Nothing
next time,
goes over my head. My reflex is too fast, and I'll
my
catch it.
reflexes are too fast. But I think a lot of wrestlers need to do that now.
Then the Miz being one of them.
Yeah, I think.
And I think Apollo Crews is doing that too much. Because who is he? He's happy to be their guy.
He's like, I'm thankful to be in the
He's
WWE.
He's one of the best wrestlers, but there's not much more to him. Like,
yeah, there's no. I mean, when he gets mad, like, my name's Cruz, Crews. You know, it really.
I don't believe it.
He had to like hit the Miz to, like, you know, show me that he was angry.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
I think he could have spent more time in developmental before coming up, and it's purely just to, like,
I agree.
fine tune exactly
Yeah,
a character, a reason why to be there.
I don't think he was really. I mean, he was barely coming up in NXT. Like, he was there, like, he was good, he was getting noticed, and then he got called up. He could have easily gone for. They could have had him run for the title there at NXT.
Yeah.
And, I mean, have him lose. I mean, it's
Yeah,
fine.
not everybody has to have the title before coming up.
He doesn't have to win it, but, I mean, have him go out strong.
I mean, Enzo and Cass never won the title.
Yeah,
but
they
they're
never-
huge.
Yeah.
That's true.
And it's all purely because they spend a lot of time fine-tuning everything to where they're polished and ready to go by the time they move up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, he's good. I'm not going to take any of his ring. Like, he's perfect in the ring.
Yeah, he's
But
got
then
really good.
you don't care for the
ring.
match that he's doing because you don't care for the guy in the match.
They just didn't give us a story for the title. The IC
That too.
title is the most take that back. The tag titles are, but the IC title used to mean something. It used to be like, dude, you have the IC title.
Yeah.
You're the next one in line to get a shot at the WWE Championship.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior. I mean,
Triple H.
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels, yeah.
It,
List goes on.
That's what it should be. And now it's like they don't care. It's titles don't mean anything. The strap, as I like to call it, doesn't mean anything anymore. And it's just like, you know what? It took John Cena a year and a half of going out every Monday and defending that title for it to be relevant.
Yeah.
And it was just, it's like they don't care. They don't care about their world title. They don't care about their tag titles. Man, I'm just going to get all riled up now.
It's happening.
It's like it's coming out. All right, so that's
So, yeah, Miz won, retained, whatever.
and,
Phantom of the Opera shot out. Loved it.
Yeah, that was cool. Maurice.
yeah.
Dude, I think Maurice is so hot, and I just don't like her
Oh,
eyebrows.
yeah.
I just don't like her eyebrows.
I'm not looking at her eyebrows.
See, and eyebrows are like 85% of the game for me.
Yeah, dude.
I gotcha.
So, I mean, shout out to the Miz, though.
But it was
on him.
an eventful match.
But here's something. All right, so Styles and Cena. Oh, God.
Best match of the night, in my opinion.
I think it might be the best match of the weekend. I mean, rivaling Gargano Ciampa.
Yeah.
But I think it was the best match of the weekend, and here's why.
All right, go.
Cena did not bury Styles. The indie guys got the win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got the win in the third match.
When it mattered.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, it was the third match.
Yeah, because, I mean, they always come in, get the first one, And like Kevin Owens, it was a big deal. Like everyone's like, cool, it's finally. How many times has it been like, oh, finally this guy's gonna be the one? But I mean, and like
CM Punk actually.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, but we wanted AJ Styles in WWE for the longest time.
Yeah.
Now that we get him, we're like, dude, what are you guys doing? Just give him the belts already.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
as he walks
Which,
through the
as
door.
of SmackDown today, might go down, but we'll get there.
Yeah. I thought it was the best match of the night. I was marking out throughout the entire thing.
I think my favorite thing about it is like it wasn't just spot finisher fest. Like, yeah, there was finishers, but the fact that both these guys have so many like moves that like you're known for. When they kick out, you're not mad that they're just blowing finishers.
But the thing about AJ Styles, this match was that AJ Styles is so good of a wrestler that
He has so much he can do.
he can bring a lot out in another wrestler.
Yeah.
It's not that he's making him look good, because I thought John Cena pulled out some moves that I hadn't even seen him pull before.
Yeah.
That
in this
Canadian
match.
Destroyer.
Yeah. Well, he's done it before.
I'd never seen him do it.
Yeah, I remember freaking out when he did it with Owens.
Sorry, Diego.
But there's there's only certain wrestlers that could do that with John Cena.
Yeah.
And AJ Styles is one of them.
Yeah, and here you have like two of the biggest guys in the world. Two of the best too. I mean, say what you want about Cena. He's one of the best in the world.
Yeah, I mean,
And-
if I ran into John Cena out in the street somewhere, I'm gonna take a picture with John Cena.
Yeah.
I really don't. I'm not a big John Cena fan, but you can't really
You can't
take
knock
that
the dude
away
for
from
what
him.
he's done.
You can't
Yeah.
see me.
I can't see him either.
It's true.
Oh,
You're like,
I
oh,
guess
God.
I can't see him out on the
Maybe
street.
who was I taking a picture with?
All right.
Oh man, but that match.
What do I
though.
say now?
That match though.
But it was really good.
Like,
I seriously thought when he did the FU?
oh, it's an AA now.
Oh,
Yeah. Come on.
I'm
It's
sorry.
2016.
I don't keep up with John Cena very much.
It's
as you can
2016. It's
see.
the AA.
All right, the AA. Oh, Attitude Adjustment.
Yeah.
Yeah, just clicked in my head.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Where he did it off the top rope, I was just thinking, he's done.
Yeah.
AJ Styles is done.
Oh, yeah.
And then he kicks out.
And he kicks out.
I lost my ever-loving mind.
And the fact that like he had a second Styles Clash and that wasn't the finish. It was when he took off the elbow pad, then hit the forearm, and that did it. I was like, oh man.
One thing I really disliked though is that they took everything away from the Styles Clash.
Kind of like, I mean, this is one of those matches where I can see it because like, I mean, Cena's like one of those like he's built to be like an unstoppable.
Yeah,
dude.
so I mean, it was expected in a match like this, but like in regular like Raw matches or SmackDown matches, they just took away whatever this.
Yeah, I think I've only seen it finish like maybe two people
Yeah.
the whole time.
But so I just really dislike that because it's a move that AJ Styles invented, and it's the move that he used to finish a lot of dudes
It's a move that
in
he
Japan
broke
and
Yoshitatsu
ROH.
with.
Yeah, and it's just like,
Oh god.
Wearing a Yoshitatsu shirt right now.
Oh man,
Love
I
that
really
guy.
noticed that
so
too.
I just really don't like that they.
Which is why he has that shirt too. Yeah,
Yes.
okay, he's wearing a Bullet Club Hunter shirt, and it's purely because of AJ Styles. Oh man, dude, he literally like was it his vertebrae?
I don't honestly, man.
It
I
was
don't-
something with his neck, but
Yeah, I mean, you really got to like put your head up when you're doing that, and I
Yeah.
guess he
put his head. He
down,
tucked his head in. Yeah,
and he just like that was his fault though.
yeah, he took the bump wrong. I mean,
I'll say that is your program when you're doing bumps. You're programmed to tuck your chin into your chest.
yeah.
I
So you're
know,
fighting your instinct doing that.
I know for a fact because I'm doing stuff. I'm like, oh, and it just happens like instinct, and you forget you're doing a reverse
Yeah.
bump. So
So you got to
Yeah.
tuck it back. It's instinct, but I mean, if you really, the heat can't be on AJ for that. But
Yeah,
either
true.
way, unstop. Like
Yeah, so
when you have a finish that literally broke a guy, you protect that thing.
yep.
but AJ Styles, John Cena was a phenomenal
Ooh,
match.
Ooh.
For the phenomenal one.
Yes.
Oh, such
And
a
it-
good match.
I was just going nuts throughout the entire match. AJ Styles ended up winning, which is great, and it kind of left they kind of left it ending with the whole John Cena leaving the ring and leaving his
Never give up armband.
Yeah,
in the ring.
I didn't notice this because I was particularly upset that Shane McMahon lost at WrestleMania. But Undertaker apparently left his gloves inside the ring. And now, shout out to my brother because he pointed this out. Because we all know Undertaker gets to pick who he wrestles. And I guess they've been wanting to do Cena versus Taker.
Yeah.
But
Cena was out at the time, yeah.
Taker left his gloves in the ring, and Cena left his armband. So if that's any indication to tying a story together, I'm on board. But it was really cool, especially for Brooklyn fans to be cool with Cena. Like they felt it. It really resonated on TV.
Oh,
like
because they're the same
shone
way as
through.
us. Yeah, they're the same way as us. Like, I mean, we're tired of him, but we don't hate the guy, because we know what he does.
Yeah,
That's really just the programming. That's really all it is.
gotcha.
Oh man, but yeah, and then really, I think it's just a time off. I mean, I didn't see SmackDown. Was he on SmackDown tonight or no?
No. He was
Yeah,
not.
see,
I bet AJ was.
Yeah, AJ was all about.
Boy, howdy.
I saw the beginning of it where he's putting on the armband, which is as big as his head. Jesus
Dude.
Christ, Cena's so huge. So I mean, from what I heard, he's going back to film the second season of that American Grit show, that reality one, which is actually a pretty cool show. But that's a different topic.
Never seen it.
So that's what I heard. Like, so he's taking some time off, which I mean, he's
earned.
gradually on his way out. Gradually, he's not just gonna do cold feet.
He's not gonna bust a rock,
Yeah.
and then come 10 years later and just win a title.
Just take the title off of Punk.
Don't even get me started. See,
Yeah, I know.
man,
That's why
Rock,
Punk is gone. Anyway,
among other things.
but I mean, he's on everything. He was on like Good Morning America like every other week,
America.
or no, the Today Show. The Today Show. He's on that. But
Did, what was it? Teen Choice?
he did the ESPYs too.
Oh, that's right.
Bro, he's all
He
over
did both.
everything.
He's on everything. He's all over my computer screen too. Jesus Christ, those things are still going on.
No, it says Amazing Fantasy on your computer right now.
Yeah. But okay, so the next one is Gallows and Anderson beating the New Day.
Short and sweet.
Well, I mean, technically they did beat the New Day because Big E recovered from his balls.
Disqualification.
Yeah, and Jon Stewart, he saved Jon Stewart's balls. If you want to put it
Why
that
was
way.
Jon Stewart even there? I did not like that.
Because of the name.
I hate him as a person.
I'm tired of him in wrestling.
I
Yeah,
don't give
why
a
is he
damn.
there?
I love
Why
Jon
is he
Stewart.
there?
I'm tired of him in wrestling.
I mean, he's a
Upset
funny
the-
guy, but he has no need to be there.
I'm just upset the club did not walk away with the titles. I'm
Yeah.
upset that they're weak and that they write them that way. And the New Day do not need the titles.
See,
I'm sorry.
I mean,
you guys
I
don't.
think I'm at such a crossroads because I think like they're getting kind of stale. I mean, I love the New Day, but they're doing the same old stuff like every week.
They are Edge and Christian, just not Edge and Christian.
Yeah.
They don't need the titles anymore. They're popular with or without the titles.
They're one of the few acts that's over.
Yeah,
Just
like
over.
they don't need it.
They have cereal for crying out loud.
Yeah, I mean,
They're mainstream.
What point is it for them to keep the titles? I mean,
I think
you
not
have
just the record.
You have a new. I mean, they already beat the record.
No, they beat the year, but the actual record hasn't been beaten yet. It's at like
Oh yeah, no, it's a
I think
crazy.
they got like another month or two.
Wait, I thought the ones that held the record was Paul London and Brian Kendrick.
That's what they want you to think. There's actual other tag team that held it longer. I can't remember the name, but
It's a different tag title than the one that because they've gone through so many tag titles, like reincarnations of it.
unified this and unified
Yeah,
that. Unify
that's
my underwear.
that's
I really thought it should have gone to the club, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. I
mean,
don't.
at the same time, like New Day, like they literally kept tag team alive
How?
for this past year. 'Cause
How?
Who else got over like they did?
Well, it doesn't. They did nothing with it though. They did absolutely nothing with those titles. Those titles, they might as well put them in a closet because they meant nothing.
They've defended them like crazy though.
But against really how many times this year? They didn't do it at Mania, the biggest
Mania,
event
no.
of the year. I don't remember them doing it at 2 pay-per-views after Battleground. They did against 4 other tag teams, but it's like that. Those titles meant nothing. It's cool that they held them. It's cool that they're just placeholders.
What?
They're not defending champions. They are not.
What I don't like also is that since it's a trio, it's like
Not Freebird. Not Freebird rules.
yeah,
Yeah,
just
they did
like,
that once. The Elimination Chamber match. That's it.
Yeah, I just don't like that. I'm just like, what's going on here? I don't know. New Day does not need them. The club should have gotten them. Whatever they're doing with the club right now is wrong because, as Jerome said, they're looking weak.
I think the only thing they did was with Dudleys, which we'll get to the Dudleys. That was like the first thing they kind of gave him bone, which kind of worked, kind of didn't. But well, that's on Raw. But I mean, we'll see what happens now. I think it's purely just so they can beat the record.
I will say this: the WWE won't push the club, and this is me going out on a limb. They won't push the club because it wasn't their idea. It wasn't their idea.
Yeah.
The club across the globe is killing it, from Kenny Omega to the Young Bucks to Adam Cole. I mean, to Finn Balor, which we'll get into later.
Oh God.
Prince Devitt. I mean, WWE don't want to admit when they didn't do something first.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, you know what? We're going to bury the club. That's exactly.
They've done it ever since WCW days.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Even Sting. Even
I said that today too.
Yeah, I said that
Freaking
today.
Triple H.
Even to
I'm
this
a Paul
recent years.
Levesque guy, not a Triple H guy.
Oh God. But
Yeah.
have you seen Wrestling Isn't Wrestling? Have you seen that video?
No.
Oh, have you seen it?
No.
Oh man, you need to watch this. It is like tangent. It's by Max Landis, the guy. He's like one of my favorite screenwriters. He did the script for like Chronicle, American Ultra, like a lot of those movies.
Yeah.
Huge wrestling fan. He basically broke down all of Triple H's career in the best way possible. It's hilarious. You gotta watch it.
I gotta see that.
Yeah.
What is
pull
it?
up.
Wrestling? Is it wrestling?
Yeah, it's the best, and it's basically like I said, just breaking down Triple H's career in the best way possible. It's a perfect way to explain to someone who doesn't watch wrestling why you watch wrestling. But Gallows and Anderson, I think they'll get their time.
I do too.
If they got Finn Balor, they're not. The business is changing gradually.
Yes.
I think they're going to get their time.
CM Punk was the main catalyst for that.
Yeah.
Huge.
So I think they'll end up getting it. And plus, there are two typical WWE looking guys. Like Gallows, he's a big dude. Festus is huge.
Festus.
Biscuits and gravy. But
I think I'm gonna have to dip out on mid podcast right
Yee.
now. So
Okay.
I'll explain to you.
Alright, so
Yeah.
real quick, who do you think MVP for the weekend?
Out of everything.
Wait, are we?
Match.
Yeah, just your MVP for the weekend. We got to
It
pick one guy.
was possible. Well, I think I'm. Oh man, I'm debating between.
Wow, it's not picking your first, which child you love both.
Yeah, I know. I'd say AJ Styles, John Cena. AJ Styles was just.
He's a real MVP.
Yeah, I think he's the real MVP for me. But it can also go Gargano, Ciampa. But I'm gonna stick with AJ Styles.
All right.
I got that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I will catch you guys on the next podcast because I'm leaving midway through this one.
Check you later.
Sick guy.
But we did start late in your defense.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
No fault.
Yeah.
Mother Nature had a hand in this.
No.
Yeah,
Jeez.
it was raining so bad out. Anyway, get out of here.
All right.
delete. Oh man,
I'll
so
check you guys.
make good choices. All right, so now that we got rid of that baggage. All right,
Two-man commentary team.
It's like, I hope this podcast goes downhill now that I'm leaving.
Oh man. Okay, so now let's talk about Dean Ambrose and Ziggler. I was so disappointed in this,
Snooze fest.
dude. And they're such good guys.
I
feel-
was. I don't. That says it all. I looked forward to this moment so long. I, honest to goodness, thought Ziggler was gonna get it.
See, I thought Ambrose was going to retain, but I thought Ziggler would at least put on a performance because that's what he does.
Yeah, and this.
And they had a good program leading up to it too.
Yes, they had a great program leading up to it. The build was fantastic.
Some great promos.
Considering that SmackDown, all of their roster pretty much went into the brand split with no hype behind them. Everyone that
Just
had hype
Ambrose,
was
yeah.
on Raw, and
Just Ambrose and American Alpha, I'd say.
yeah, I give you that.
That's
American
it.
Alpha. It wasn't there for me.
Something about it, and I feel
it didn't click.
Yeah, and I think Ambrose is on like the biggest like cruise control spree because even the Jericho program, that Asylum match from a couple months back, I was so hooked on it. I was like, cool, he's a living legend.
Yeah,
It should be good. Match sucked, and I wasn't into it.
you know. Oh yeah, the Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, and I thought it was Jericho because I thought he was the one he's good. It's Jericho, but I think maybe he's past his prime. But now I'm thinking it's Ambrose and it's basically what Stone Cold said. You gotta get it in. This is your time. Make your mark on it. And I don't think he is.
No, he to me, he's not someone I was stoked when he won the championship.
Yeah.
And then I realized, wait a minute, he's not convincing.
Yeah, which at the time it was perfect.
Yeah.
And it was so cool for a little bit. Like, he was doing stuff with it.
I think it worked out because no one wanted Reigns. I personally wanted Reigns. I thought it would have been great. I'm a Reigns guy. But it was one of those, all 3 Shield members held the title that night.
For that one night, yeah.
For that one night. It was great programming. And then I got to see Dean Ambrose the next night in Phoenix.
Oh, you went to that?
Yeah, I went to that. And it was awesome. And then it was just kind of like,
Raw.
after that, it was just kind of like,
yeah,
okay.
Nothing's happened since.
Yep.
And that should be your main company guy.
The strap doesn't make the man makes the strap.
Yeah.
Triple H has said it. Countless guys have said it. And Dean Ambrose is just missing something. I don't know what it is, but I love watching him.
Yeah, and it's whatever he had before. I don't know if it's that he's the perfect underdog. I don't know what it is, but it just wasn't a good match.
Had he been the chaser, I think it'd be different. Like, yes, get it. And now it's like the Mick Foley thing. Now that you had his Mankind, you're just like, okay.
Yeah.
You finally got it.
Well, now, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But, yeah, that match was not that great. But so next we had the women's tag match, the SmackDown one. Natty, Alexa Bliss, and then the returning Nikki Bella.
Pleasantly surprised to see Nikki come back.
Yeah, I have since made the hard girl fonder.
Yep.
And then defeating Becky Lynch, Naomi, and Carmella. Becky Lynch deserves more. She's like the captain of that SmackDown female roster.
Absolutely.
I mean, Nikki Bella's the biggest name, but Becky Lynch is like, they love her so much.
Yeah,
She's so good.
I don't think. The match, in all honesty, it was just a filler match.
It was fine. I mean, it was booked around Nikki Bella.
It really was. I'm still disappointed that I feel like SmackDown's being the redheaded stepchild, the ginger of the brands. I mean, back to how do you put the WWE Championship 6-hole? You put it midway in the pay-per-view.
It's a mid-card match, yeah.
And it just kind of, I was just like, they're doing the job. And in SmackDown, I'm Team SmackDown all the way.
Yeah, see, and I like both. Like, I mean, I've liked Raw up until now, but I feel like from what I saw of SmackDown, I wish I could have seen it. But what I did see, it seemed so much more intriguing off the bat.
Yep.
And it used to be the opposite. Like, I think it's going to be cool, like, going back and forth. It's probably because this is a SmackDown month for the pay-per-view. That might be why.
That could be it, too.
That might be why, because Backlash is what's coming up first. But I mean, the match was fine. I think SmackDown's women's roster is really, really stacked right now. Compared to Raw, has a really depleted roster.
It feels like it.
Yeah, because
I can only think of 5. And Nia Jax is doing squash matches. You got Dana, Charlotte, Becky, wow, Banks, and Bayley now. And Nia Jax.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for that Nia Jax Braun Strowman match. They're both squashing. Might as well.
They squash each other.
No, double counter. Something.
I'd be down with that.
Yeah, I know, right? But it was a good match. Nikki Bella, I mean, her new finisher's sweet.
Who? Nikki Bella won, right?
Yeah, she got the finish.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's right.
And
that's right.
Because she's not doing the rack attack anymore, because that's a lot of pressure on your neck. And that's what set her back in the first place. But her new finisher looks sweet.
I don't honestly. I hate to say that I tuned out the women's match, but in this one I did. Me and the guys, we were just chomping at the bit. And SummerSlam, I think it was wrestled out, but SummerSlam just did not have me.
It was so long too.
Yeah,
it was so long, and you just kind of burned out until something amazing happens. Which stuff that's normally like, oh, okay, that's cool, doesn't seem as cool because you're burnt out.
Right.
So I mean, other than like, oh, cool, Nikki's back. Not much happened.
And it was, oh, cool, Nikki's back.
That's it.
And what's the next match?
Yeah, and like even though the match is fine, like it was a good tag match, but
I agree.
You're burnt out. You don't care anymore.
Yep.
Oh man, but so second to last match, Finn Balor, my boy, defeats Seth Rollins, my other boy, to become the first Universal Champion.
We are, as fans of this great sport of pro wrestling, not sports entertainment, we were gonna win no matter who won.
Oh, I was so stoked for this match. Everyone from work, I got a couple guys from work to start watching wrestling again, and they're like, and they knew Seth Rollins because he had the title for so long. You hear his name.
Yep.
And they were just like, who's this Finn Balor guy? I'm like, oh, dude, just wait. Just wait. You don't even... This one of the best in the world.
Yep.
Easily.
We haven't seen a push like Finn Balor's this weekend since Undertaker's first debut in Survivor Series.
Yeah.
When he beat Hulk Hogan a year later.
Yeah.
So it was really huge. The only other time we saw that was in WCW with Goldberg.
Yeah.
So it feels
For
like
a major title, yeah. Because I mean, you could say Rusev, but I mean, that was a major title.
Yeah. I will say, it feels like we're getting a quote unquote new era. A different mindset. It was just cool. It was really awesome to see that some of the indie guys.
And it was such a good match. I mean, the belt. I think it looks terrible, but that was not what the match. Like, I hated that the crowd was all about the belt more than the match.
I'm torn on it. Aesthetically, it's not easy to look at on the eyes. You don't appreciate the belt. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm more of a traditionalist when it comes to belts, giving it its own identity. Not saying, hey, we have the exact same belt that SmackDown has, except it looks like it was rolled in fruit roll up.
Yeah.
Although it's huge. It was an iconic moment.
It was a big deal, yeah.
So,
and it sucks that like the Brooklyn crowd kind of took over and made it more about what the belt looked like than the match. And that kind of like in a bottle, like that match was perfect. It was so good, but you're so concentrated on what they're saying.
Yep.
And it took away from it a little bit. But either way, when Finn Balor got the pin, you're like still mind blown because they're so good at what they do.
You didn't think it was gonna happen. I honestly didn't. I wanted it to.
Oh, I kept talking trash saying it was going to happen. And then there was
wearing a Seth Rollins shirt. I was like, yes, Finn Balor won.
Oh, man. I need to get a new Seth Rollins shirt. This guy at a Hate Breed show tore my name. Oh, I hate him. But
it's always that Hate Breed show.
Yeah.
You remember the time the dude's choking me in the hoodie?
It's
and
always
I decked him. I'm like, God, dude,
it's always that Hate Breed show. But, I mean, it was my only Seth Rollins shirt. It was his first one when he broke out on his own. Anyway, Finn Balor is the future. But, it sucks. Because the next one, they were ready to push him to the moon, like, mainstream-wise, too. Like, he was going to be he was on Good Morning America.
Yeah.
The dude barely debuted a month ago on the main roster. He's already on Good Morning America for a title.
Yep.
Hours later, has to relinquish it.
They did that with Rome. Well, they did it with Reigns and Charlotte after Mania.
Yeah, but Reigns has already been around, though.
That's true. Point duly noted.
Yeah, Reigns has already been around. Like, this is such a huge deal for a new guy, with a demon character, to be on Good Morning America on Disney television.
I think there's a lot of demonic stuff going on with Disney anyway. But,
yeah, that's true. But for that older crowd, that's kind of like, whoa, what is this? Like,
true.
It's a hook.
It is.
This dude, who's going to be a big deal.
Yeah.
And he still is going to be. But we got to wait now.
I'm intrigued to see what the future holds.
Yeah.
I mean,
as long as... they got a good batch that they're going to put the title on based off of what they got from Raw.
We'll see.
Yeah, as long as they keep the title credible, it's still going to be what it was now.
Yep. And
it sucks because torn labrum. I nearly tore my labrum back in November, and I didn't, but I still have problems with my shoulders. I can only imagine the pain this dude is in. And then did you see the picture when he tore, when his shoulder popped out?
Yeah.
Oh god, you could see it bulging. And
kudos to Finn Balor for finishing that match, though, popping it into place, finishing the match, and owning it like a champ.
Yeah.
King Balor.
Yeah, the Demon King.
The Demon King.
Was it that everyone called him, Thomas was like the Seaman King?
Oh, gosh. Sick guy.
I know, right? But, oh, man. Finn Balor. Come back. Be healthy. I already miss you. Shout out to all my Valor Club Pokemon Go guys out there.
Valor Club.
And last match. Oh, God. So, Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton.
We just skipped the Reigns and Rusev.
Well, because that wasn't even a match. It wasn't even a match. So.
What are you guys doing?
2 non-finishes in a row to end the show.
That was scary. I mean, I know I grew up in the Attitude Era, and we're all going to say that the Attitude Era was best, and blood and this.
Yeah, I'm numb to it. Like, I'm not numb. I'm like sensitive to it now.
It's true. A little color every now and then is greatly appreciated for a story point.
Yeah.
This was just surreal.
It was so much blood.
Yeah, it looked like just Gangrel just gave someone a bloodbath.
Yeah, and then there's a matter of like when we're watching, it's like, was this how it's supposed to end?
It didn't feel like it.
It didn't feel like
felt
it.
askew.
Yeah, and which from what I read later, because like I don't try to delve into too much dirt sheets. Oh, okay, I do, but I don't take it seriously, except for one source, which is a pro wrestling sheet. I don't know if you've been there or not. Ryan Satin, he used to be at TMZ.
Okay.
So he has a huge journalistic background. And he's basically done that in the wrestling world. So I pretty much take his word as like fact because I mean you have credibility when you're working at TMZ, obviously.
Right.
And according to what he said, that afterwards he got reports that Jericho stormed into Gorilla like just pissed off, like going up at Lesnar, and basically just started yelling at him. Basically wanted to fight Lesnar, which, wow.
First Goldberg and then Lesnar.
I know, dude. Jericho's
Triple threat match.
Yeah, right. But even then, like Jericho, like he is way. His balls are too big for his body.
But
for growing up against Lesnar like that.
You know what though? That just goes to show the kind of person Jericho is.
Yeah, he's
a locker room leader. He's not this guy. He's probably the minus the Undertaker, but I think he's the longest tenure superstar, and he still gives a rat's hiney after so many years, and he looks out. He looks out for his guys, and
you can see
honesty,
how. Yeah, remember the Neville match where Neville fractured his ankle? He took total control, finished the match in the best way for Neville to not screw his ankle more. Like he's so good. He's a living legend. I back him every day,
and I can appreciate that. I really can.
Yeah, and apparently, according to like that, Triple H and Vince had to step in. I mean, why wouldn't you? Ow, cat! This cat just freaked me out. But I'm keeping that in, by the way. And they had to tell him, like, dude, it's a work. Like, you're out of your line here. Which I'm thinking, if that's the work, that's how you end the show?
You're going to work everybody? That's a gnarly work.
Oh, it is. Like, got that elbow.
I just don't know. I don't know if... Man, I really don't know.
And I wanted Randy Orton to win, actually, too.
I felt it
would have
benefited him more.
Yeah, I mean, Lesnar is Lesnar. Someone has to defeat him eventually. It would have been so cool for Randy Orton to be the one to do it and be the face of the company. Because he's so, like, backed right now by so many people.
Lesnar shows up. He is a part-time guy.
He does Lesnar things.
He does whatever the hell he wants, which I can appreciate, but he's not going to be there. He wasn't there on Raw. He won't be there in another week, I don't think. Lesnar, he's there. He is a spectacle. He's the guy say, hey, we're going to have Mania. We want you there. He's the new Undertaker in that regard. And you know what? It sucks.
Yeah, because it's at the expense of someone that's going to be there.
Yep.
And keep going.
Like when The Rock buried Bray Wyatt, the Wyatt family at Mania.
Oh, yeah.
He put them over, but then he buried them.
He verbally put them over.
True, and then physically buried him.
Yeah. Dude, I'm still waiting for the rematch, though. Rowe and Rock, twice in a lifetime.
That'd be awesome.
Oh, yeah, but still, like, the fact that I'm over it. I mean, I love Lesnar. I'm not going to mess with that guy. But I'm over it. It's this, I need something new, someone to defeat the beast.
I don't care about Lesnar. I don't care. I cared enough to watch UFC 200.
Yeah, because you don't know how that's going to go down.
Yeah, I don't care about him in wrestling. I don't. I was stoked when he beat The Undertaker. I do feel that CM Punk should have been the guy.
Yeah.
But man, I am really a CM Punk guy.
Yeah, so am I.
But
I still got to watch that Evolution of Punk documentary.
So do I. But yeah, I'm over Lesnar. I don't care if he has a match.
It's more, we've seen it. It's going to be the same old thing. If he did something different, I'd totally be on board for it.
Yep.
But
give us a solid 3 pay-per-view programming.
Yeah, the Lesnar.
Give us a reason why you're
Lesnar
fighting.
Taker after SummerSlam to Hell in a Cell. That was cool.
Yep.
And even if Lesnar went over, they did it good.
Yeah.
It hasn't been like that since. Oh,
that's just him. That's what Lesnar gets.
That's where he's at.
He's a businessman. What can I say? He's a smart businessman.
He's playing it in the best way possible. Oh man, but all in all, like SummerSlam, it was okay, I guess. It had some great matches, great moments, but it was just too long to where you didn't care.
The mind can only endure as much as the hiney can handle.
Yeah.
And my butt was just tired. I was like, bro.
I'm still sitting here. And not only that, but I mean, we kind of do it to ourselves by watching so much wrestling throughout the whole weekend.
Yep.
But most of it was produced by WWE, so they kind of shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah. I'll say this. The SummerSlam, lackluster. It had good moments. Overall pay-per-view, it's not something I'd sit down and watch again.
Yeah.
At all.
I watched Cena Styles again.
Mm-hmm. I'd watch that. Yeah,
that's about it. And a lot of times, like, when it's a really good pay-per-view, it's like, oh, man, I need to watch this again.
Yep.
Money in the Bank this year. I was like, Money in the Bank, I think, is my favorite pay-per-view.
I think they consistently do pretty well with it.
And sometimes, a lot of times, I get so hyped. The last Hell in a Cell, I thought it was so good. We had Reigns, Wyatt, Taker, Lesnar. I thought that was a good pay-per-view. That was when Del Rio came back.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was a good pay-per-view. I'll watch those over again. This one, no. I'm over it already.
Yep.
Just enough to talk about it right now, like we're doing right now. So that's about it. And Raw had a couple moments. It makes me wonder, what was Raw supposed to be like?
I think
It was really good for being booked on the fly.
I don't think it was booked on fly.
You don't think so?
Who was going to be the number one contender?
It would have done the same thing.
I think they would have done the same thing.
Yeah, maybe.
They just kind of switched up the names and the faces. I thought it was cool. They started out. Finn Balor relinquishes the title, unfortunately. But I thought it was cool that
I love the way Corey Graves said it. He's like, Mick Foley took the title from him. Dude, Corey Graves is so good.
He's the best.
So good at what he does.
They can get rid of Byron Saxton as the third commentator and just leave Michael Cole and Corey Graves.
Yeah, I don't mind Byron, but yeah, they don't really need him. The one I don't care for is Otunga.
Oh gosh, poor Otunga. But Raw, I thought they did a great way of displaying the importance of the Universal title.
Yeah, they got the title over.
So many people to want to own that title. I love that they did the Fatal 4-Way throughout the
Yeah, they
Raw.
built up to. It had a storyline that went throughout the whole episode. Sorry for those of you at home.
And it made the title important, considering it's now going to be the second person to hold the title. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
I don't see Cass winning it. For those of you who don't know, it was Cass versus Rusev to see who would get into the Fatal 4-Way next Monday. Good match. Thought it was cool for Rusev to leave. Although, I don't know. I thought it was alright. I mean, having him do the count out, because if Cass would have pinned him, then he would have been number one contender for the U.S. title.
Yeah.
And then they still have, I'm assuming they're still doing the Reigns-Rusev angle.
Yeah, I thought that was weird that was dropped. Because Reigns moved on.
I don't think it's dropped. I think it's just...
Momentarily.
This is how I think it'll play out. Reigns, Owens, Cass, and Seth Rollins are going to be in the Fatal 4-Way next week to see who is the champion.
And I feel like it's going to be either Owens or Rollins.
I'm going to... If Rusev doesn't come out to interfere with Reigns, which I think would be killer heel.
That'd be cool.
Because no one wants to see Reigns. I do. I want to see him as champ, but I don't think anyone else does. I think if Rusev came out, interfered, cost Reigns his shot, I think it honestly is between Owens. If they were going to put Rollins as champion, they would have done it already.
I think they'd have to turn him too at this point. Because Finn Balor put him over.
Yes, but Rollins is a heel.
I think he could do either one.
He made fun of Sami Zayn after he got hurt.
Yeah, that's true.
Dude, it's like, no F's given.
I think people still like him. I think that's what it is.
It is.
If you go organically with a crowd, he'd eventually be a face.
Yes. I think Owens might take it. I want Reigns, but I think Owens has a great shot at taking it.
Yeah, which he needs a good title on him.
So,
I mean, other than that, Raw wasn't really much of anything else. Charlotte, Bayley happened. Bayley was amazing, by the way.
Didn't see that coming. It was great. Sealing the deal with a hug with Mick Foley.
I know.
Right here in Brooklyn. It was great.
I know, it was so good. And, I mean, she's going to have a great program with Charlotte.
Yep.
This cat is all over the place.
Yeah, I know.
It's that time.
Yeah.
But, oh man, Rob was, I thought it was good.
It was, considering everything that happened, I thought it was fair to Midland. Yeah.
And SmackDown had the new titles debuting tonight. It was the women's title and the SmackDown tag titles. Did you see SmackDown all of it or not?
I saw all of it.
Okay.
I thought SmackDown coming off of a pay-per-view, which felt like they weren't really showcased.
Yeah.
Too great. It was great. I loved it. It starts off AJ Styles walking into the locker room and all the guys are talking.
I saw that, where he turns into the headband and all that. Yeah, I saw that.
And he goes up to Ziggler and he's like, and I can't stand losers. And boom, they go right at it. And then you have all the women, and you have the tag teams inside the ring. They're showcasing the new titles, which, by the way, look fantastic. SmackDown has the best looking set of titles out of the brands. Heath Slater.
Oh yeah, I saw where Slater pops out. Okay, Slater is the real winner out of the whole Brock Lesnar build-up.
Yep.
He's been on fire
He's
since
the hardest
brand
working
split.
man in the brands.
He's on both brands without being on both brands.
How does he keep doing that?
I don't know. He's the hottest free agent, though. But I saw this thing on WWE.com. It's like, what will Slater do? Will he go to Evolve? And I was like, that's cool that they're mentioning, like... I mean, obviously, I have a working relationship with Evolve.
Right.
But it's cool that they're mentioning these smaller companies.
Because now they can't deny it.
Yeah, the business is changing.
If we look at it in this sense, take all the top guys in WWE right now.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have Cesaro. They wouldn't have Sami Zayn. They wouldn't have Finn Balor.
Reigns is the only one.
Reigns is probably the only homegrown guy. Where did Rusev come from? Was he FCW as well?
I think he was.
See, Rollins was Ring of Honor.
Yeah, but I mean, Reigns is the only like cookie cutter, like WWE looking guy. Also,
I mean, Rude, Aries, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, all TNA guys.
yeah,
It's like, yo, the guys you're using, you didn't even grow yourself, and I think they're really starting to take notice.
and I kind of like that too. I mean, I don't mind that they're bringing us from other companies because they're showcasing them on a stage that they deserve.
They work hard, they earned it.
Yeah, and they're not changing them either. I mean, AJ Styles came in as AJ Styles.
Yep.
Nothing changed. Gallows and Anderson are Gallows and Anderson. Minus the paint, but the Gallows and Anderson. I mean, Finn Balor is a fine-tuned version of what he was in Japan.
Yep.
They're doing a lot of good things right now, and
Tyler Black.
yeah. And I just keep telling everyone, like, wrestling's on the come up again. It
really is.
It's never going to be as big as it was. It's never going to draw those like huge ratings because the kayfabe was alive and well back then.
Kayfabe was alive and well, but
It's going to be respected in mainstream in the next couple of years. It's going to be a while, but it'll happen.
I'll give it the next couple years. The biggest reason of why now it won't be as big as it was because back then you had to watch wrestling. Like,
Yeah.
You didn't have so many different options. You couldn't go online and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to wait tomorrow and watch Raw if you have Hulu and SmackDown. You just didn't. You'd have to watch it that day or you missed out.
Yeah.
And so they were pop culture. And that's the thing. And that even transcended pop culture. Back in the day, we had one channel. We were watching Three's Company at such and such prime time. But not now. We have Netflix. We have Hulu.
There's so many other options. Not even just wrestling, but just entertainment in general.
And exactly. So I don't think pop culture is going to be relevant. But that you're never going to draw those numbers. And if you do, it's going to be something magical.
Oh, yeah.
And you better jump on.
It's going to take like a final deletion type thing.
Oh, man.
Delete. All right, so real quick. We're almost done here. Can we just talk about the Dudleys real quick and how they got the delete chant on Raw?
Oh, the Dudleys are the only guy who could do it.
I know. Without the Hardys actually being there. It was amazing.
I'm going to say it was. I'm extremely bummed that the Dudleys are not with the WWE, but they are going to be doing independent things.
Yeah.
I saw their tweets. I tweeted at them who I'd like to wrestle.
Yeah.
Hey,
I saw that.
Gorillas of Destiny,
Bucks.
the Young Bucks. I think it'd be fantastic. But I was so glad I got to see the Dudley Boys as often as I have.
Yeah.
Most of my favorite wrestlers, like X-Pac, I've never seen wrestle.
Yeah, and he's still wrestling too. That's crazy.
I know it. I have.
I mean, then again, Jerry Lawler still wrestles on occasion, but
It's true. Ric Flair wrestled away until his 80s.
yeah, actually. But I mean, the fact that they're still doing indies kind of makes me think maybe they'll be back. I want to see him win the 10.
I do. I felt that they could have used the Dudleys as the chase. They could have said, hey, we're the tag champs. Chase us. Let us help develop a tag team division.
Yeah.
And I don't feel...
But they did for a little bit.
They did.
They did for a little bit. They probably did a lot behind the scenes.
That I agree. I mean...
Probably did a lot behind the scenes.
And that's you need locker room leaders. You do.
Yeah.
In any sport. And but yeah, it was crazy to see the club get the final say.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. It's kind of like, I mean, they're old school guys. They're going to go out on their back.
Yep.
Which, that's cool. But they did it in a weird way. Like, it wasn't a match It wasn't a build. I feel like that could have been something for the club.
Yep, it could. It could have been like, we retired you guys.
Yeah.
They should have done it that way, but it is what it is. I mean,
we're nitpicking that, I guess.
yeah, but it was cool. It was cool to actually be able to see that. I did get choked up, but I will say this: they are one of my favorite tag teams of all time. They are my number
best
one
of all time. Yeah,
they are my number one. I got bummed out when they joined Right to Censor, and then became the Dudley Boys the next day on SmackDown. Mm-hmm. So it was like, so they've always had me in the back pocket. That was hook, line, and sinker.
And I'm gonna miss seeing them. I mean, it's not like we just saw them a lot this time, but just like
true,
it's gonna be a while. I mean, if they're having an indie circuit run, it's gonna be cool. They're gonna give a lot of younger guys that'll eventually come up experience.
Yep.
But it's just they're gone, you know.
Yeah, I know that they're doing a lot of the Team 3D Academy in Florida, Kissimmee, Florida.
Yeah.
Check them out. I'm actually interested in checking them out. Actually going to visit. I will be moving to Orlando.
Oh, very nice.
If I've told you.
No, you have not.
No. Yeah.
This is breaking news here.
Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, I'm going to be moving to Orlando, going to Full Sail.
Oh, that's cool.
And then I'll be over there with the
cat.
Cat is playing with this toy. Yeah, I want to check out the school and eventually do it.
Cool. Meet up with Angel and Ricky. Shout out to Angel and Ricky.
Right.
And then you go from there. But so I know you had a couple things you wanted to plug in here before we close it out here.
Yeah. New Era Wrestling is one of the best kept secrets in El Paso.
Yeah, so tell us about that. If you're in the area, listen to this man. If you're going to be in this area, listen to this man. If you're not, just listen to this man. I don't care.
You have a lot of homegrown talent from El Paso. You can catch New Era Wrestling, 10400 Dyer. They have a wrestling event every Friday. You can catch me. We can mark out together. We can boo the good guys, cheer the bad guys, or vice versa. You're going to get quality entertainment. You're going to get quality lucha libre action. We get a lot of guys from out of town that come through here. Just this past Friday, we had Carlito.
I wish he was with the Shining Stars.
The Shining Stars are awesome. And Paul London. And big shout out to those guys. I mean, they were amazing. The event was crazy good.
Yeah, I wish I could have gone.
It was so awesome.
I've only gone to one of these events. It was a good time.
Yep.
It was good.
It was cool. Got to see CM Punk chant going that day too.
Did you really?
Well, I was the ref, and they were like, "Hey, what song do you want?" And I was like, "Cult of Personality." I had a list to choose from, and that's what I went with, and it was cool. Did you get there at the beginning?
No.
Oh, that's probably why you missed it.
I did not. I got there. I don't remember who was in the ring. I only went that one time, so I didn't learn a lot of the guys. But
was it a girl and a guy wrestling?
No, it was before that.
Okay, I think I vaguely remember.
It was before that. I don't remember, but it was a good time. If you're in El Paso, if you're coming through, is it on YouTube or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, they have stuff on YouTube. They have stuff on Facebook, Instagram. Just look them up, New Era Wrestling, and you can't miss it.
Yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. You see Jerome here reffing right now.
Off and on, but yes.
All right, and then soon you'll see him in other capacities. We'll leave it at
that. And if you're really into live wrestling information or sports shows, check out the Taz Show. They drop a podcast version for us in El Paso because they start at 7 p.m. Eastern, or 7 a.m. Eastern, excuse me, which is 5 o'clock our. But they do a podcast version, so definitely check it out. It's great info. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty.
Then to jump on that, check out the Wrestling Sheet podcast. It's that website I told you run by Ryan Satin. This cat is out of control. I love it. It's basically not about like what's going down each week to week, but it's about your news source and things like that, like the talks around the business. That's every Thursday on Dash Radio. You want to check that out. There's podcast form. You can pick it up on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, whichever you choose. But there's plenty of wrestling to talk about. I feel like this is probably the best week we can start doing this.
Yeah,
we'll be back on occasion. I'm not too sure like how often we'll do this or not, but we'll get together. This Summerslam Weekend was obviously the best bet to go with.
Man, it's a good time for wrestling. We've had, if you're not tracking, from last Saturday, to this coming Friday, we've had wrestling every single day.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, and there's still 2 more hours of WWE television this
Tomorrow.
week with Cruiserweight Classic and
NXT.
NXT. Which NXT, I mean, it's probably not going to be a must-watch episode because it's tapings from TakeOver, but it's going to be good. NXT is consistent.
Absolutely. Oh, definitely, if you don't check out TNA, check them out. It is amazing. The stuff between EC3, Bobby Lashley,
Yeah.
Drew Galloway.
Yep.
I mean, not even just to mention Broken Matt Hardy and Brother Nero.
Broken Matt Hardy's the hottest thing in wrestling. I don't
It's-
care what anyone says.
It's amazing. Give it a shot. Watch it
They're
wholeheartedly.
getting a stacked roster. They just got Moose.
Yeah. They just signed. Aaron Rex, formerly known as Damian Sandow. I'm letting you know, it's don't sleep. They're doing a slow burn story, and they're making all the smart moves.
Yeah, TNA is definitely an underrated right now. If I can understand why if someone doesn't watch it purely because of hours in a day. Because if you stick to the WWE stuff, there's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're looking for an alternative, TNA is definitely very underrated. You get a lot of slack, or actually a lot of flack, more like it.
Yep.
But check it out; it's worth it. It's pro wrestling. I want every business to succeed, and Lucha Underground is coming back.
September 7th.
I am so stoked on this. It looks like Katrina's going to be wrestling.
Oh
This
man,
season.
I'm
ready.
Stoked. I'm just ready for Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
Second best kept secret in pro wrestling.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot to talk about. But so WWE you already know about. Lucha Underground's coming back. TNA, check it out. New Era Wrestling in El Paso. If you're in town, check it out. If you're curious on it, YouTube it, see what's up. And then other than that, we'll come back to you next time. Say later to the NerdFellas.
Check you laters.
Laters. Oh, remember kids, get the tables.